Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some PathOfExile discussion. Patch 3.19 is starting to get closer now. We're only a couple of weeks out from it, and I wanted to go through what to expect in the teaser season, as well as just do a little bit of a channel update. So we got the first little teaser today, which is a tweet that we'll go into in a sec. But just firstly, there's a couple thousand channel subscribers that weren't around last teaser season. In the last 90 days, I've had 2541 new subscribers and 643 have moved on. That means that there's about 2,500 of you that are subscribed to the channel that weren't around last time. Now, this channel will go kind of crazy during spoiler season. I'll be discussing and dissecting pretty much all the news. This will include likely daily videos summarizing all of the news, as well as separate videos on any individual piece of news that's particularly interesting. And that extra number of videos will come out for as long as there's news that justifies it. Now, this is especially going to be important this league compared to last league, because where last league we had no balance changes, this league I expect there'll be significant ones. There'll probably be nerfs to Champion, Occultist, a couple of other top performing Ascendancies, likely be a nerf to Crystallized Omniscience and a couple of other items. And then at the same time, we'll likely see buffs to things like Trickster, Juggernaut that have been historic underperformers, as well as a few things we just can't predict. The new meta means new toys to experiment with for pretty much everyone that plays the game. So timeline-wise, all of this is in Australian time zones because I'm in Melbourne in Australia. So if you're in the United States, subtract a day from most of these times. If you're in Europe, most of these times will instead be very, very early in the morning your time. So think 1 a.m., 2 a.m., things like that. Today and tomorrow, we may have the first tiny teasers. So we got one today that I'll discuss in a sec, but these will likely be lacking the context that's needed to truly understand them, and things may become clearer over time. Next week is completely up in the air. I have no more knowledge of this than you do. All I know is that GGG have been very inconsistent on the third week out from a league announcement. 3.18 had almost no news during this period. My memory serves me right, all we got was the Divination cards post, which was significant because it had the Apothecary in it, but there was very little general news in that. On the flip side, 3.17 had me putting out 2 videos a day during that period. So next week, we'll have to see exactly what's coming up. Most leagues, though, have had significant reveals during this time. 12th of August my time, 11th of August for some of you, is the major live stream announcement. This will be the biggest single news source and may even come with patch notes or at least a draft form of the patch notes. 16th of August is the end of the Sentinel League. And so that'll be the last day to farm recombinators. It'll also be the last day to finalize any challenges that you're trying to chase down before the league ends. Then the 20th of August, my time, 19th for many of you, will be the 3.19 release itself. So today's tweet. The PathOfExile Twitter account occasionally posts cryptic teasers as well. Now this tweet simply says that there will be a new type of oil in 3.19 that allows you to anoint mirrored items. Now this one's interesting because this is a teaser that's of little or no use to almost all players in the context of the 3.18 game. I think it would probably be reasonable to assume that 99.5% of enfranchised players have either never used a mirror of Kalandra or have used at most one. And that's only counting the people that actually get into endgame in the game, like that get into maps. So this likely means that there'll be a new variant of the Mirror of Kalandra in the league. We can't predict exactly what this is going to mean, but something with lower top-end power than the mirror itself has. Perhaps this will be one that causes both items to gain the mirrored tag, perhaps it's more restrictive. Maybe it randomly lowers a tier of a mod on an item. Something like that, that means that mirrors can be used a bit more widely because they're going to be more accessible. Maybe that's something that GGG want to have as a theme in this 3.19 league. That we're just going to have to see. But it's likely to be a significant part of the 3.19 league. This may be like the corruption theme was central to Scourge, but it's just not in a way that we can predict as yet. So we're going to have to wait for more context to say much on this. Now, I do have another planned project in the works for this period as well. I've been meaning to fill up some of the dead time at the end of the league by making some resources aimed at newer players. So expect to see Act Boss guides going up over the next while. Now, for those of you that are veteran players, these will just be completely a waste of time for you to watch. And that's intended, like these are not intended at my existing audience so much as something that people that haven't encountered my channel before might find useful. Maybe there'll be the odd trick that you'll find useful in them, but ultimately it is just going to be a way of helping out newer players. So thank you, may your Valorps have interesting results.